Watch out, I'm coming for you, and it will feel like it's a dream coming true. You're mine, I already knew. You dropped that gorgeous, but you don't have a clue. Your smile could tear me apart. I dwell with this strangely aching heart. Just hold on, you'll soon be mine. I know that you give in, so come fall in love with me, 'cause I know we're supposed to be. Let's go home to bed now. It's more than just a game for two. It's made for me and you. I stay in your head now until you're mine. Let's go home to bed now. It's more than just a game for two. It's made for me and you. I stay in your head now until you're mine. Watch out, I'm coming for you, and it will feel like it's a dream coming true. You're mine, I already knew. You dropped it gorgeous, but you don't have a clue. Your smile could tear me apart. I dwell with this strangely aching heart. Just hold on, you'll soon be mine. I know that you'll give in to me.
The sky so far away tonight, but I can't lose this one. Got a pride of a falling night. Thought that I was fit to fight for us to be. You gave me life for loving me. Tell me, where did we go so wrong? We were the perfect photo line. Why don't the pictures come out right? We are emerging from the skies. How can you choose to leave me now? Don't you tell me goodbye. After all we've been through, gave my all on this bumpy ride. Thought that I was fit to fight for us to be. You gave me life for loving me. Tell me, where did we go so wrong? We were the perfect photo line. Why don't the pictures come out right? We are emerging from the skies. How can you choose to leave me
Sup guys, I'm back. It's another day, another build. I didn't put that on, that was just resting there so I didn't lose it. How are we all doing? How are we doing? I've put my phone over here this time so I can actually see who's in the chat rather than trying to squint to a PC that's miles down that way. But who we got? Deadzone, what's up, dude? Mikey Dread, what's on, man? He's on his lunch break. That's commitment for you. That is dedication. I don't get a lunch break here. I just build quads all day. My hobby is my job, as they say. All good, dude. Glad to hear it. In case you guys didn't wonder why there was no live stream last night, one, I fancied the night off, and secondly, I should have been in Brighton this morning to pick up a new car because my current car is trying to kill me. You know, it's all good. So, and yeah, I messaged the guys and said, fancy a night off? And they said, yeah, I mean, we don't have a guest. I mean, Jack was going to come on, but he said he had to ask somebody from LDO whether he could come on or not. but never got back to me. So, meh. There you go. That's what happened there. So today, I've did some changes since Tuesday's video. Obviously, we put the ESC on. We set it up 2 modes. I didn't really want to make you guys sit through another 6 wires. So I set them up offline. One thing I did change from between Tuesday, I changed the standoffs. I had nylon standoffs on the bottom of these, and because of the nature of the Acon ESC with a heat sink, when you go to screw down another part of like nylon style, because they were like hex shape, they don't actually go down because of the cutout on the heat sink is so narrow you can't. So I took it all apart and put obviously the longer standoffs in. You can see me, basically it's just a bolt all the way through. I'm using nylon nuts to hold them in place, and obviously there are rubber mounts on the shaft as well. People are messaging me. Oh, it's Sol. Hello, Sol. Not on the chat though, but you know, on Facebook Messenger. And I'm not going to read out what he's asking me because that's super secret information. Because he's one of our sponsored pilots. So, anyway, back to this. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to put the cap on here because we're running this on 6S. I'm going to put the XT60 on, and then we're going to plonk on the flight controller, put the ribbon cable in. There's a couple of things we need to point out on that because it's Acon. And then I'm going to wire in the FPV camera and mount it, and we're going to wire in the cable for the VTX as well. If you didn't know what we were using, because also we're using an Acon AK32 pin ESC, we are going to be running the Acon 20x20 F7 board. 3 prints that you get in the box with the Neutrino frame, and then I've got a Unify Pro V3 to go on as my VTX. The camera, I've got an old camera that was laying around. There's an old Foxer here, Predator, that I'm going to put on there as well. Anything else we need to know about? No, I think we need to crack on. So let's get me cap on. How are we all doing, guys? Are we all good? Who was on the lunch break? Oh, Mikey Dredd, he's on his lunch break. What do you do, Mikey? What is your job? Is it anything exciting? He's not going to answer me now, is he? Maybe he's finished his lunch break. Just saying. Boss could be cracking the whip by now. Oh my god, my eyesight's really bad today. He's a carpenter joiner. Get on. I honestly think there's a real lack of manual labour jobs these days. So you, my man, are a rarity at the moment. And I know people pick up the yellow pages and go, oh, but there's loads of them in the yellow pages. But what I mean by that is there's nobody coming through colleges anymore for manual labour. It's too easy now to get a YouTube career, isn't it? Says me sat here. So yeah, much respect to the manual labour guys. He's chilling at home because he's retired. Jesus. I thought you were young gun. I don't know why, but my soldering iron's not very bloody good today. Come on, I'm feeding there. Just tinning the pad here. It's better. Only fit. Oh, that's an early retirement. I wish I had an early retirement. Retired at 35? What the bloody hell did you do? Win the lottery? Now I know these come with, or they're pre-tinned from Acorn, but I always like to put on a bit of my own soda. I think I generally tend to find that it kind of takes better if you do it that way. Worked offshore as an ROV pilot. Oh, nice. Yeah, good money in that, mate. Really good money in that. I've got a friend actually who works offshore. He's an electrician stroke. I presume that's what a ROV pilot, he drives all the little remote subs off oil rigs, and then basically goes around and says you need to blow a hole there, you need to blow a hole there, sort of thing. And also there's like pipe inspection remotely as well. So I presume that's one of the same things. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong. I love the delay in the chat. Apart from the motors, you are running the same gear as a minor Trino. Ooh. What motors do you have, Mikey? Right, so XT60 is ready to go on, nice and tinned. But in the pack you get the, I don't know what you want to call it, battery saver or F60s, tasty. So this little mount is for your XT60. Your cables go through and then it pushes on to a pushed onto a standoff. Stops the cable going into top motors. I don't know why I wanted to speak like that. But I'm not too sure which standoff to put it, but we'll slide it on and then we'll solder it up and then we can work that out once we get the top plate on. Mikey, are you using the camera mount and antenna mount for your neutrino? Or did you make something up your own? Because it's controversial. Everybody likes to do things their own way, don't they? Oh, get it. Where's my tweezers? Yes, underwater served. Do other sorts around the world. Looking at rig, legs, pipes, every downed aircraft. Private and military. Get on, mate. Yeah, I've got a friend that does that. And he does say that the money is good. Oh, I wonder if it was even touching. It's my head in the way. Kind of hoping not. Yay, we're on. Well, it was lovely and sunny here in Plymouth about 30 seconds ago. And now it's absolutely, it's gone grey, dark and horrible, and it's absolutely peeing it down. I might just have had a bit of thunder. So, come on. There we go. XT60 is on. I'll leave it like that for a minute 'cause I'm not too sure which one I'm gonna. Because I'm gonna toilet tank this one. So he's running the 2 simple cam mounts. Get on. Yeah, that's what I plan to do here. Well, I'll show you now. So here we go. XT60 is on. Give it a wiggle. There you go. We got our cable saver on. So this is our flight controller. I have some of this stuff, I will admit, is used. Only because they've come from previous builds, and I've constantly turned off because I have a whole box behind me. You would not believe it. It's like Aladdin's cave in there. And I've been told that I need to start using some of this stuff up. So whoever has an Acon 35 amp ESC and an F7 flight controller hanging around doing nothing, it's going to be me. But in my little Aladdin's cave over there, there are numerous amount of Unify Pro V3s all working, but just been stripped out of a build. There are cameras stripped out of a build. There's sets of motors in there that I've brand new built into a quad and then finished it then and gone, I don't want those motors on it. So then I take them off and they go into that. They literally come out of the packaging, been soldered onto a quad, and then decent, never been flown, never been armed, no nothing. And then they go and sit in that box. If I look at the box, there are T motors, there are FX cats. Oh, there's all sorts in there. There's Runcam cameras, there's Foxes, Unify Pro. There's even an old Foxer Clear TX VTX in there, which is unused by the looks of it. There's nano crossfire receivers. There's all sorts. So I've been told that I need to use it up. So the choice, clearly the frame is brand new, and these motors are brand new because they obviously we've not had them in stock very long. Dead Zone, think I will have one of those boxes. Yeah, I think that's the problem with this hobby, isn't it? Every time you upgrade to something, you change everything, you end up with a whole load of parts that. Wow, look at the ray, man. That's evil. I would turn the camera on and show you, but no, it's just sure it's just depressing. I tell you what I do feel sorry is whoever's delivering my parts today. In a There's Amazon's coming today. TBS are out for delivery today, so I might actually have to go and take those if the bell rings while we're here. Oh, don't ever trap cables. Supposed to you can hear it, the rain. Yeah, it's crazy on the window. My little furry friend's in the window as well. He's just absolutely loving the rain. Jesus. I've had drier showers. Crazy. Right, so F7 in, we've put the cable in. The thing, when you buy an Acon ESC and an FC, you instantly think everything matches and everything's going to work straight away. Not the case. If you're going to use the Acon stuff in the box for the FC is a wiring loom to connect into the ESC. That is the correct wiring loom. In the box with the ESC, and I'll just cut my hand, there are 2 wiring looms. One is correct, one is wrong. And if you put the wrong one in, as soon as you plug it in, it will pop the FC. So just make sure that if you're using the looms out of the ESC box. There are two different ones, and they don't work. One of them doesn't work with the Acorn F7 or the F4 coming out. It's just a completely different wiring loom, and why they've done that, I don't know. I can hear it, Miss Mad. Didden, where are you in the UK? Whereabouts are you? Because if you say Plymouth, I'd be really embarrassed. Like, oh yeah, I'm 5 minutes up the road. That's what I'm expecting to hear. Right, camera. So in the box you get, I'm going to be using these mounts rather than the one that comes with it, only because I'm using a bigger camera than a nano. So, but yeah, or else you could slot that on there, make your camera, job done. But I'm not. I'm going to be, and I like it when it's this way because I tend to find that the camera sits back further in the frame, giving that camera just a little bit more protection. That's just me. I am also it's kind of stuck in my ways when it comes to building these things. I like years ago when I first got in the hobby. Let me make these a minute. My first quad was an Alien, and that was before it was a Mr. Steel Alien. Oh, fat fingers come into effect again. That can bloody hold anything. That was before Mr. Steel Alien, and we're talking original here, and there were no dealers in the UK or Europe or anywhere for Impulse OC. It all had to come from down under, and there's some great Yarmouth. Nice. And there was a certain way I learned how to build an Alien, and it kind of stuck in that way, if that makes sense. It's almost like the Mr. Steel way of anything, but I'll you'll get the gist of it once I've done it. So I'm going to stick these mounts on here, nip them up, not too tight because we can adjust the angle later once we're done. Get these camera mounts on. They are a bugger because they're a real soft TPU. I think I might have put them on the wrong way. Let's have a look. Yes, I have. Oh, son of a bitch. I did this the other day. Which is just terrible. Oh, and that's now my wife texting me saying, where is that weather come from? On any normal day, I just text her back and say, the sky. But I'm getting a little bit tired of the sofa. Yeah, looks a bit better if I put them that way. The mounts you get with them you can actually turn them either way. So because they're not straight, they're actually offset. So you've got a wider camera again. Because on my prototype one, I've got the Runcam Phoenix 2, which is a faux size camera. So it is actually this way. Because this was a micro camera, so I kind of thought it would be. Oh man, get in there! My fat fingers let me down again. Hey. Right, let's get the camera right way around because nobody likes an upside down camera when you plug it in. I can burn myself on that bloody soda line again in a minute. Thing is, these TPU prints are really tight over the fast part because obviously they're tapered. And then, and once you slide it down halfway, you're all good. There we go. Get in there. Sorry you can't see this, but my fat sausage fingers are letting me down yet again. There you go. So it sits back nice away from the edge of the frame, but obviously with the cutout on the top plate, like so, you're still able to adjust it for lots of camera angle, which is quite nice. Follow the power cart to put those little, yeah. Right, so I'm going to wire that into there. Love it when I do this. Get tool blind, put things down, you can't pick them up again. Right, so obviously the cable is so long. We want a bit of slack on there, but only because I like to twist my wires together. Oh man. Oh yeah, because on an alien mount, on the original alien mount, you had to take the back of the camera off to put the little O-rings in, and then put it all back together so you could put the carbon fibre plate on it, and they all kind of went together and mounted as part of this big block inserted into the frame. Right, that's. Yeah, I remember that. It was a good camera mount, to be fair. It was way ahead of its time, but then it was not needed. It was unnecessary at the best of times. Just trimming back these wires here so we can tin them. And then just dropping stuff. So I quite like doing these build series where I can just do a couple of components each day, and then you don't get frustrated doing the build. It kind of, because on a build where you start getting frustrated, you then the worst part is if you go tool blind. If you're looking for tools that are literally right in front of your face, but you can't see them. That might just be me, but you never know these days. Right, so that's our camera wire trimmed and ready to go. Let's find out which pads we need here. I'm going to go... My personal opinion, I don't know what everybody else thinks, I like to give the camera a faux bat. So I like to give it the faux VBAT, full voltage, only because if you're using the 5-volt regulator, and I'm not specific to Acon here, it's like all of them, and this is what I generally tend to find. When your battery starts going, if your 5-volt regulator drops below, for an example, it goes from, I think it's about 5.2, they normally kick out at, and then say it drops to like 4.9 all of a sudden, your camera actually goes off, and then it will come back on again, and people kind of went, oh, why does my camera keep going on and off? So if you've got a camera that supports sort of like the Fox up to like 36 volts, just give it full VAT. It's not going to use 36 volts at all to run, and it's not going to make your quad unexpectedly power hungry by having a camera running on full VBAT. I just preferred if it didn't go off when your battery starts getting a bit low. The VTX, I've got a 5-volt version of Unify Pro, but that will actually run as low as 4.7 volts, so I'm not too bothered about that one. That one will actually stay on. But yeah, for the camera, I'm going to give it the full beans, the faux spaghetti. So I need VBAT. Where have they hid the ground on this? Yeah, ground. VBAT ground video. There you go. Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that is because on some builds, like some racing rigs I've had in the past, and I don't expect it to happen with freestyle quads, because it's just, well, it's all pretty close together there. Halfway around the track, my camera goes off. Only for a split second, but when you're, I say faux throttle, it's never really me, is it? Not that good. But yeah, when you're in the corner and you're giving it faux beans, and all of a sudden your camera blacks out and then comes back, it's not really where you want to be. So since I've had that problem, I've always then given the camera the faux spaghettios. So there we are. So we're in now on VBAT. We got video into the flight controller, and we got the ground to the camera. To make it look a bit nicer, what we're going to do is going to twist that up. That's why I left a bit more length on the cable, because obviously when you twist it, it will shorten. That, see? Looks a bit tidier. And then let's plug that bad boy in there. Again, this is where my sausage fingers let me down. So there we go. Camera is in and wired in, and there's actually enough slack there if you wanted to cable tight to the bottom plate. You could do, and that would, if the camera did yank, then it wasn't going to yank on the flight controller. Right, this is where a lot of people are going to get controversial with me. Oh no, you don't want to do that. You want to do this. Here is one of my Unify Pros. So just something I have to do when I get them. I strip off the heat shrink, and this is just to help secure that UFO connector. So I strip it off. I've put some obviously noosing in, but here, the blob here, look, maybe you can see that. I need to wait for the wedge stream to catch up. There you go. So this blob here is it's a liquid electrical tape. So a blob of that on the UFO connector, because I only need it to come out straight. I don't need anything else. Okay, and then before that goes completely dry, so when it's just a bit tacky, slide over a new heat shrink and shrink it down, and that's just going to give us a little bit more security on the odor. You know what I mean? On that connector, because I've been long range, 400 feet, and on brand new builds, I've had the UFO connector just pop off mid-flight. The video doesn't go, but it does become amazingly bad. And so I've always done this now. So we've got some nice soft liquid electrical tape, liquid electrical tape on there, and some fresh new heat shrink on there, and that's just gonna keep that in place. So any yanks on it is not really going to come out, and if it does come out, it's going to take half the circuit board with it. But there you go. My antenna of choice on this build is it's the Triumph Pro, but it's the SMA version, obviously. And the way I'm going to mount this is I'm not on a freestyle build. I'm not worried about smart audio. Not bothered at all, because I'm going to locate this where the button is accessible. Yes, my racing quads all have smart audio, but I don't allow Betaflight to control them. I've actually wired the smart audio cable from the unifiers on my race rigs directly to the Crossfire receiver, and I control the VTX channel from the back of my Crossfire. I've got the faux Crossfire with the LCD screen, so you can then literally, it takes OpenTX and Betaflight out of the questions. There's no point in dealing with that. Let's make it simple. On the back of the Crossfire, scroll through the menu, choose whatever band, whatever channel, whatever power output, and the Crossfire receiver, nano receiver, just talks direct to the Unify Pro, and just sorts it out, and it remembers where it was the last time, and they talk to each other, and it just works great. I've never had a problem since Betaflight changed the way obviously you need to add VTX tables and all the rest of that malarkey. I lost interest in it, so I looked for another way of wiring up, and that's what I came up with. And I found it on a couple of other pilots were doing it, so I thought, oh, I'll try that, and wired it up, and it just worked. There was no tables to sort out. You didn't need to tell it what it was talking to or anything. I believe on channel 5 or 6 on your Crossfire receiver is where you wire the smart audio cable from Unify. Which brings me to the point, because in that little box then when I was sorting out earlier for this build, I'll put it somewhere, I had a Crossfire receiver, and I pulled it out. I was like, yeah, I need one of those, and I can't remember what I've done with it. Doesn't matter, because we're not using it on this today's shot anyway. So yeah, anyway, yeah, there's a best way completely. And to be fair, I mean, I use Betaflight, I get on with it alright, but since they started all that malarkey, not interested. I'll tune the quad, and then I'm not interested in controlling the camera or controlling smart audio or anything like that. I just need to tune it, be happy with it, and just fly. That's all I want to do. I don't want to spend entire days just tuning this stupid thing. So my VTX, I am going to mount this way up front, just behind the camera, with that cable straight across the top, and then my antenna is going to come out the back that way, and also going to bend it up a bit. That's going to be cable tin. It doesn't matter about the cable ties being on the top plate, because the top plate is going to be toilet tanked with the battery, so the LiPo strap's not getting in the way of this. The cable tie is not going to get in the way of the battery, so it's endless. So all I need to do is wire that directly into there. It's a little bit long, so we need to cut that about there. Let me move that before I melt that as well. I haven't used Betaflight since 3.3, but I mean, that's going back. I mean, I am using the latest versions, but I'm not taking advantage of any of the special features. If I have my way, wow, I'm still waiting for KISS to bring out a 2020 flight controller. That's all I'm waiting for. And then even all my freestyle builds can be like, even if they did it, even this Neutrino would get stripped down and rebuilt, because also we can't put a 30 by 30 stack on here. It's the 20 by 20 only. But yeah, absolutely. KISS all the way. Not for racing though. I did make a KISS racing rig years ago, when I first started. The frame was, oh good god, frame was the Space One, and I can't remember which frame it was, but the arms were really thick. The arms were like 15mm wide by like 4mm thick. It was back in the early days, and it had a really short body, but it took a 30x30 stack, and it allowed me to put 24 amp KISS race ESCs out on the arm, and I had Lumineer 2306 2450 kV out on the arms, and I used that rig. It was the first night I ever met Fanny, and we raced against them in Exeter. I got absolutely creamed by him, but it was a good night. Jab was there, but yeah, it was epic. It was epic, but and it flew alright, to be honest. Since then, I've tried remaking a modern day KISS race rig, and it's not wire. It's not made towards racing. It is completely. It's complete freestyle, if I'm honest, for me anyway. But saying that, Alfie currently flies KISS on his race rig, and now he's got, I think his frame is the XB Lite. He's running the XB MCK Lite frame. He's got faux size KISS V2 flight controller, and then he has the tiny 25 amp KISS ESCs out on the arms. Now his arms are actually no bigger than this, but the ESC is just like overhanging the arm, and everything is crazy to look at when you see it. And if he's hitting a gate or anything like that, then the ESC is going to take the impact, which is just crazy. But he doesn't. He does very well. Right, where are we going on this one? So we've now got... Oh, the cat's awake. Easy, tiger. So we've got ground. I can't read that because it's been... rubbed off. Let me do some Google and Magoogling in a minute. Find out what connectors I'm needing here. But yeah, if you want to do a KISS setup, ask Alfie. He's done it already. Oh. Excuse I a minute, this is just technical difficulties. Not that one. There we go. More info. Video in. Aha. So we need the far M1, the ground, and I have to use. Right, okay. Haha, Smoky Sun, how you doing? Ah, dang, you made me lose my screen now. I am. What if I turn this around? It matches up. Right, okay, so we've got video out, there's a ground and a 5 all the way over the other side. Oh man, I need new glasses and everything here. What's going on in the chat? Alright. What's the weather like up in your part of the world, Daniel? Is it as shit as it is here? Pardon my French, if there's any youngsters watching. Because it is holy crap. Do you want to dive it? This is the question. If I say yes, go ahead and do it. Are you going to be making me responsible for your gear if you lose it? It's just murky as. Do you have GPS on that quad? I need to twist this back together again. Go, keep it nice and tidy. No, it's my fault if I lose my gear. Do it. Have you got a screen with you? Because you could live stream that. I'd quite happily watch that. Oh, actually, once that fight's gone, I need to put some nuts on there as well, don't I? Everybody likes some good nuts. You don't drop them. And I've got emails and all sorts coming through now. Oh, I've just dropped everything over the floor. There's 3. Oh my god. No GPS, mate. It's how I row. No phone signal. Here, mate. No data. Oh my god. You are not having a good time. I've just actually lost one of my nuts on the floor. And cue the jokes. I'm waiting for them. You lot are watching, so I'm certainly not going to get on my hands and knees at this very moment in time to find that nut. So I will find it between now and the next stream to finish this bad boy off. Oh. Small dog walking population. How big is this hill? And how big are these palm trees? Is it steep or is it just not steep? Is it worth the risk for the footage? And there are people emailing me. Never stops. You have to work out, is the sacrifice for the footage outweigh the cost of your quad? I love a delay on YouTube, it's brilliant. Oh, he sent me a photo. Has to walk 3 miles to get there. What are we feeling, people? That's where he reckons. I presume he's talking about this one in the background. I'll be like, send it. Send it, and then we'll see the DVR it and everything, and we want to see the footage. Because if there's no footage, it never really happened. Make sure your crossfire's like max power, baby. Right, anyway, back to this build. So we're pretty much there for today. So we've got the VTX cable wired into our F7. We've got the camera wired into our F7. We know where the VTX is going to end up. It's going to basically end up upside down about there. And then this one's going to be coming out the back end. So tomorrow, we're doing another stream tomorrow. Tomorrow I need to wire in the Crossfire receiver, which we'll put back here underneath this XT60, and we'll put the Immortal T out on the arm, show you how I mount that. And then we'll put the lid on it, and then we're all pretty much all tickety-boo ready to go. So there you go. Any question? Dead zone. The need of the many outweigh the need of one. Damn right. I think there's more people who need to see it than the one that's flying it. So there you go, Dan. You need to send it, and then we'll send me the footage by messenger, and we'll play it on the live stream tomorrow. And then we can either yay you for making it, or have a laugh because you lost your stuff. Right, okay. Right, there you go. Right. There we go, peeps. So let me... Oh, melting. Did I melt it? No, I didn't. Good. Unplug that soda around. Until tomorrow, obviously I'm going to step this out. I don't want to drag this on every day. It's just a little bit every day. So if someone's following, yay. There you go. Right, until tomorrow, peeps. I will see you all. Have a nice, rainy, wet, horrible day. Because it just looks awful here. So hopefully fingers crossed tomorrow. And remember, I am at the Team Woolly Sheep on Saturday, and once this one's finished tomorrow, I will take Wiz if anybody wants to come and have a look at it. So there you go. Right, until tomorrow, peeps. Have a good one. See you later.